See, Trick Daddy was almost the voice of reason for this episode if it wasn't for what he was saying on that boat. Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative, and we're here again for this Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 5, Episode 3 reaction and recap with my awards. If you are new, welcome. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, most importantly. And if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much. Let's get into this episode. So, let's just break down what all happened before I get into my awards. First, we see Florence Lucha, and her family does not want her to divorce her no good ex-husband who slept with her sister, and even her little son, was kind of saying how he wanted to go watch a movie with his dad. So it seems like she's getting a lot of pressure to stay in that marriage from all sorts of forces, whether it's her mom, her kids, her culture, but she's trying to stay strong. And she does admit that she's seeing someone new, which I think made the mother kind of back off on her a little bit, but it's hard to see someone go through something that traumatic and then not get support from her closest people. Next, you see Gunplay and Von Shea, and they're talking about their family and how the baby might need surgery again, and how her education is also expensive, and the insurance is not helping much. So Gunplay is trying to be strong, but you could see that he's clearly cracking under the stress, which will contribute, to all that's going on in future scenes and also in the news and current events right now. Next, you also see Ray J, Trick Daddy, and Safari. They're on a boat, and Safari's talking about Princess and the gambling problem and how she left him in I guess the airport. He was waiting for her to come to Miami and she never showed up because of poker. So again, it does seem like Princess has a gambling problem. And Safari tries to act like he's the relationship expert and everybody's kind of side-eyeing him. But this episode, I really feel like Trick Daddy was kind of coming across as more of the wise person, especially in the later scene that we see with Trina's brother and Raymond, because on the boat he messed up his wisdom award with that eat a booty gang nonsense. So I had to just blank that out of my mind in the moment. So after that, you see Trina. She's talking about the tragic death of her niece Sugar, and they show how she dedicated the BET Award to her, and it was gun violence, and the girl passed away really young. I believe they said she was 17, so it's really sad. Next, you see Joy and Bobby talking. Joy is going to be hosting some Monday event with um, Marlon, and Bobby kind of senses that she might be developing feelings for Marlon, and we're just going to see how that plays out because, again, Marlon is the same one that cheated on Flo with her sister, so not a very good dude. Next, you see Florence on the beach with the person that she kind of alluded to with her family, and it turns out it's her old friend Claudia. So even though she's coming out on the show, with her new girlfriend, she says she's still scared of homophobia in her family and the industry. And she's also wary of Claudia's jealousy. So she's not sure if she wants to go completely public yet, but obviously she's on the TV show, so it's going to come out. Next, you see Trick Daddy, Trina's brother, and Trina's ex Raymond having a conversation about Trina and Raymond's breakup. And here's where you see Trick Daddy being more the voice of wisdom, because he's basically telling the brother not to give Raymond false hope, because he knows Trina. He's worked with her for years. He knows that she's stubborn, and he doesn't want Raymond to waste time like he felt like he did. So he's kind of playing the role of like the big brother slash uncle. And it does kind of turn out to be that Trick is right from what we see at the end of the episode, right? Next, you see Ray J and Princess, and Princess finally joins Ray J in Miami. They play a little poker game with the stakes being her staying if he wins, but he ends up losing to Princess, and Princess just kind of, um, I guess, is eating up the poetry and the flowers and all the nice things that Ray J's doing. But at the same time, she's saying that, her gambling started mostly because of how unhappy she was in the marriage, and how she kind of started doing it because Ray J wasn't making her happy. And their relationship did have a lot of problems. So maybe if they work on their marriage and get to the root of it, then, that can help her break free from the addiction. But Ray J was talking about how well she could still play poker in Miami if, she comes. So I was kind of unimpressed with Ray J in this scene, but it looks like they might be able to get things back together. So this might have been all just a plot line. Talk more about that after when we do the awards. And then you see a second scene with Gunplay and his family. This time Von Chase talking about the GoFundMe scandal. Basically, they had started GoFundMe to get help from close friends and family with the baby surgeries. But I think it was DJ Envy um, brought the GoFundMe to light, and now people are calling them scammers. And Von Chase is very upset about this because she's trying to have a legit career with I think the FBI or the federal government, and she's also doing her dissertation, so she does not want her reputation to get tarnished any further. But it's kind of tough because she's with this public figure who's notorious, so she doesn't want her name to get the negativity attached to it. She might have done better listening to her mom, and as you see now, she's filing for divorce. So it is what it is. And last but not least, you see the big event that Marlon and Joy are co-hosting together. And it starts off, I guess, with Trina and Raymond finally talking again, and Raymond saying he wants to get Trina back. Trina kind of chases him away. She's saying the only thing she can give him is closure. And I really felt bad for Raymond. He looked so sad with his little bag walking away from the club. I don't know. The way they shot that scene with his back and in the little bag. Oh, I don't know. Some super sad about it, man. And after that, we see Marlon trying to give Joy flowers in the club. Florence sees and jumps a drink on his head, and Trina chases him away from Joy as well. So let's do the awards and kind of my reactions to everybody. So for this episode, I think the Queen, or the main star focus, who had the best story, definitely was Flo. I'm glad that she was standing up to her family, because I think for many years women have had a lot of pressure to stay in very abusive, very toxic relationships. And I think this generation is more breaking a cycle. Yes, people are marrying way less and also maybe divorcing way more, but it's better than being abused and unhappy. And in her case, somebody messing with your sister, that's the ultimate betrayal. And they had other problems too. So just the fact that she's able to do what's best for her and her family, because you cannot trust someone like that. Um, but I know it's hard with her children obviously wanting their father And it just also proves that divorce is hard on all parties involved, even when there are legit irreconcilable differences, So I think, my heart goes out to her. She's also making big moves. She's putting the hip hop in hip hop because she's going to do a compa song with Trina. And compa is very big, especially, with the Haitian community. Shouts people from Haiti. Very upbeat and fun. So I'm interested in the track. I haven't heard it yet, but it's good that she's still balancing her music. She's still running her beauty bar. A lot of ways, she's a very big boss in her family, all while trying to hold it together through this divorce that's very messy. So I think she's doing a great job of it all. And just the fact that she's trying to have the courage to move forward and also come out the closet. It's all very hard, so she's doing a good job of it all. I think the most mischievous person in the episode was Safari, partly because of what was in the episode, but also partly because of what's coming out on social media. Because it seems like Amala Negara is kind of alluding to the fact that their relationship is a plot line kind of thing. Because she's saying, she's an actress, kind of like all the people are depending on her. She did her job. And when asked about Safari, she's kind of alluding to the fact that their relationship is done. And it seems like him and Erica Mena might be sort of getting back together, but then also this weekend, Erica Mena got into some kind of public brawl involving Bambi and Saucy Santana's boyfriend. I forget his name. Zoe. And apparently it was all Erica Mena's fault. She got very drunk, very belligerent. So Safari should really be more focused on his family and his kids because especially if his children's mother's in jail, he definitely have to pick up the slack, and he can't be faking, with these plot lines. And even the men were side eyeing him. He was talking about he was a relationship expert. He, tries to clean up his history by, saying all the years he's in a relationship and the marriage he was in, but the guy's like, you've done a lot of mess in between. So it does seem like Safari is kind of someone who does revisionist history, and he's got to own up to his mistakes, and especially if this is a plot line or he was just toying with Amada. Very mischievous, but we shall see what happens next. Next, I guess my heart went out to Trina the most because, again, that story about her niece was so sad, especially because the girl was so young. Clearly, Trina has a lot of trauma to unpack because she's had other episodes where she was grieving other people in her family. And just the fact that Raymond said that she went like 7 days without speaking means that she needs therapy. She needs help. And she's pushing Raymond and people away, maybe because she does not know how to deal with that trauma. And I know I was getting on her last week for being rude to that new girl who was the rapper at the Cypher, but it doesn't seem like Trina has the bandwidth to deal with her own life, much less add people to her life. So I'm starting to see maybe why she's so closed off even more. I hope she gets help. And for anybody, if you're dealing with loss and grief, there are bereavement groups, there are therapists everywhere, even online, like BetterHelp. Please get help. Don't try to deal with that stuff alone. And if you go on 7 days without speaking and things like that, that's a big sign that, you know, you're still going through it. And of course, grief is something that ebbs and flows. It's never gonna be the case that you stop missing people that you love. You're gonna miss them, but it's about learning how to move forward, and having the tools to process and cope in healthy ways. And it doesn't look like Trina's getting the help that she needs. And even when people are trying to help her, like Raymond trying to get back in life and trying to support her, she's pushing them away. So I hope Trina gets help. And if any of you out there, dealing with loss, please. Was in timeout. I'm gonna have to put Ray J in timeout because this week the gambling storyline was either seemed like it was fake or that he's not handling it properly. Because if you think Princess had a problem. Why would you offer her to come to Miami and then just still play poker there? It seems like it's either more about his ego and having her near him and following him around. So the problem that he had was not so much the addiction, but just the lack of attention that was going to him, which is kind of understandable, but still a little selfish because if she needs help, then, you know, he should not be encouraging her to play more when they move to Miami. Because then, like, what's the point of getting her out of Vegas, if it's just going to continue there? So, I'm watching this situation. I'm still glad that they're bringing up behavioral addictions like gambling because it is something that's hardly spoken about. But the way Ray J's handling it is not doing it justice, at least in this episode. So predictions. It seems like we are going to get more fallout with Joy and this kind of, I guess, hold that Trick Daddy still has on her because he's not giving her a divorce. And it seems like it is going to be a problem if she tries to move on with Marlon. And she shouldn't move on with Marlon, so I'm glad her friends are, all telling her not to go there at all. Also, we're going to see that new rapper who got snubbed by Trina, and her story just seems so sad. Um, I don't think I've ever heard her music yet, but Zoe Brinks does seem like she has a compelling story. I think she's gonna get a lot of people on her side, and a lot of people gonna be rooting for her because she's definitely kind of like an underdog. And I'm glad that Bobby sits with her and talks to her. So we shall see. So thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment on your feelings on the episode, and subscribe. And always remember you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. See you next time. Bye.